Malaga, once a force in Spanish football, now lost in the shadows of the second division. But not for long. I've taken on the challenge today to drag this sleeping giant back to the very top. No, not just promotion, but to conquer La Liga itself. And to raise the stakes, I'm doing it with a minimum of 7 Newgens in my starting 11. Unproven, unknown, untested. Can raw potential rewrite history? This means today, only the title that will count is when there is a minimum of 7 Newgens in the 11. Bit of a challenge. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let's crack on. So then, this is going to be Malaga inside of FM24. Now today, I've set a bit of a unique concept because I like Newgens, I never used to, and I thought, do you know what? Let's have a little bit of fun today. So today, the aim is to get these back into the Spanish First Division, obviously point number 1, and then the point is to try and win a Spanish First Division title with a team built up of Newgens, minimum 7 required. Now, if we do win a title before we get the whole new team of Newgens, added bonus, but the video will end once we achieve it with a team, as I said, of a minimum 7. Now, please do let me know also in the comments if you've got any other ideas you want to see. As for Malaga, let's focus on the present. Reputation, decent. Training, decent. Youth facilities, decent. Youth recruitment, quadruple decent. The owners enjoying life at the club, the finances are okay. Now, I've done a rebuild with these before in a previous Football Manager, and they are so tight with the money. They don't have much money to play with, so it is going to be a very long and sort of long thought process of how to rebuild this team. And obviously, we need to go ahead a few years to actually start to really get these new Newgens coming through the ranks. So it is going to be a bit of an ask. Now, in terms of a club, they have won 2 Spanish Second Division titles and 1 Spanish Second Division B4, Spanish Third Division Group 9, 2 of those, Spanish Third Division Group 8, 2 of those. But as you can see, the actual projection of the club is looking really dull. Ever since the peak here in 11-12, they have gone all the way down. A little bounce back here in 15-16, where they did finish 8th in the Spanish First Division, but then it's a complete downward spiral, so they need me to come in, and that's exactly why I'm here. Speaking of the money, obviously we've got a transfer budget of 0, which is fine because I wouldn't spend it anyway. Debts and loans, we've got £62,000 inside of the net debt, and when it comes to the actual transfers, we are going to go and have a little look right now. So in terms of the tactics, we are going to go and see right off the bat, we are going to be seeing a few good players in here. Now, one player that I will say, which is very interesting, is Batterina. Now, he is a player that obviously a lot of people have heard of, I have heard of as well. And this man in particular is a very interesting player because if he plays in complete forward, I want to use the Arteta monster tactic, but we are going to have to change it for this reason because as a complete forward, he's 1 star. Not comfortable at all. We might try and play him in a bit of an attacking poacher role and really try and get some goals out of him. But again, he is going to be a loanee player. Now, although this idea is built off obviously achieving with new gen players, new gen teams, it doesn't mean we won't sign players around them. Don't forget, we can have 4 players that actually aren't new gens and still complete this challenge. So that has to make complete sense. When it comes to sort of the back line, I will be honest with you, I am not too confident apart from this guy. Nelson Monte actually looks really, really good. He's not the quickest, but for this sort of team, without any disrespect, the second division of Spain, I think he is a really, really, really solid option. Going forwards, I'm a really big fan of Yanis as well. He looks a really, really strong player. Tons of pace, great dribbling, great finishing, great composure, great flair. He is on the older side at 28, but for this division, I think he is going to absolutely thrive. So nothing but full confidence when it comes to the first season with him. You then look at our midfield, and again, for this level, it is completely fine. Nothing amazing, nothing, too bad. It's pretty average, to be honest. But I mean, we are, of course, in the second tier of Spanish football. The Spanish Cup, we are not going to worry about too much this year. But as for this Spanish division, we are predicted to actually finish in 14th place, which feels quite harsh. But I mean, you've got some teams in here like Cadiz. I've tested with them in the past. They're a decent team. Elche, Granada. You've got some big names in here. So it's quite interesting to be down here. I think the first time I've started a rebuild on this game in the second tier of of Spanish football. So it is going to be a very interesting experiment, but I think with this tactic and with my set pieces and stuff like that, we should be completely fine and hopefully go all the way up in the first season and then try and really crack on with this aim of course, achieving the unthinkable. So I will say again, at any part of this video, you want to get the rebuild file and the tactic and all of these perks. I will say you get all of my rebuild files, all of my tactics, one-on-one tactical help, ad-free viewing, access to this month's giveaway, which is £900, and also 20% off. You can come over and check out the Patreon in the link below, where you can be part of a team of 5,200 people. So let's go over right now and cue Season 1, and let's just see what the Malaga boys are saying. Right then, this is beautiful because we actually enjoy a great season. Now, one thing that I have noticed is we do have a lot of draws in this season. We actually have 10 draws, and a lot of them are very low-scoring games, a lot of them being 1-1s. Now, only 5 losses, which is why we still managed to have such a big point lead going into the end of this season. And as you can see right now, we actually had 11 points on second place, so a real strong season. In terms of players that really stood out for us, we don't actually have a single player in the top goal scorer and rank, so that's not ideal, to be honest with you, but clearly we might not have done that because of the amount of low scoring games we had. We look at the wins as well, we have got a few couple of goals in there. There's only a very few sort of thumpings over the entire season. What we do have is a goalkeeper in joint second with the clean sheets, which is obviously really where we did come out and sort of thrive. Now, one thing I will say is the fact that Batarina is going to be joint first with the most player of the matches, and he actually enjoyed 18 goals in this league, so he is a very good option to take through, and he's only 23, so I think if we've got the finances, I am going to try and sign him, and he is going to cost me a total of between 400 and 4.7 million, so depending on what the finances are saying, I really think it's an option here to try and sign Batarina just for a sort of, 3 or 4 year spell before these new gens start to come in, and then we can really capitalise on the top new gens that do come in. In terms of the Spanish Cup, a very good performance all the way through to the semi-finals, where we lose against a second-tier Spanish team only by a goal, and we could have got to a final where we would have played either Barca or Atletico. As you can see, it would have been Atletico Madrid, and I do feel, did we actually beat anyone big through this? Tenerife's a bit of a buy, isn't it? We beat Real Madrid, so if we can beat Real Madrid, we could have potentially gone on to beat Atletico. Zaragoza nearly got it done. They only lost 1-0, so that is a little bit annoying, but still a decent display back up into the top flight, and we've got a budget of 11 million, is that going to be? 12.3 million. Now, it's not the biggest budget. The debts are completely clear, which is a green flag to go and spend, but what I will say is when you are rebuilding a team like this, you run into a couple of things. So firstly, we need to put a little bit more into the wage budget. So we've actually got about 10.9 million. We are also going to have several players that are going to want new contracts. You can see this right now. We have got a load of players with contracts that are expiring literally middle through next year. So we are going to have to renew a lot of these players because we can't afford to lose this amount of players in one go. Now, when it comes to Batarina, we are not we can afford him, obviously, but if we are going to pay 4.7 million, we've got to be aware he will be probably our only signing after we have paid for all of these new contracts. So it's a big decision to make, and the question is, are we in a place where we can really afford to put all of our eggs in one basket? I don't know why he's gone back to a complete fork, so I did change it. But I'll do it again. He did play as a poacher, so I don't know how that has happened. But he had a great season, so it makes sense to do so. 23 goals, 7 assists. The star man on the left-hand side, 22. On the right, 23, 17 and 9 from Sangali, who I didn't even talk about. He is a decent Spanish First Division player, so we've already got a remarkable midfield player going into the first actual full-on Spanish League season, and I tell you what, this is looking really strong. The bench is doing their thing as well. We've got a striker out on loan at the moment in this guy, who actually scored 9 goals out on his loan spell overall, so that's a good sign as well, someone to come back. But we have now got to decide, do we bring Batarina in? Say he costs 5 million. That is going to take 50% nearly of our entire transfer budget out. instantly. And then we've got new contracts. There's a lot to think about. I'll come back. Right then, so signing one, and we have actually made the signing. Now, he cost me a bit more than what actually we thought, because he cost me 5.5 million, but I will say we only paid 1 million up front, so that is what sort of tempted me in. And he didn't do as much in terms of goals, but he actually picked up more assists this season, and kept a very good average rating. So Baturina doing exactly what I thought he would do. He is not a leading Spanish First Division striker, but just proven time in, time out, he can go and get the job done, which I am really, really happy with. Buzzing that he is doing that. Going over to the other signings, we are going to welcome in Jose Griguera, coming in for 5.2 million. Again, not the most exciting player, but a player that, I tell you something, is a decent First Division player, and that is all we can ask for at the moment. We are a relegation-favoured side in this division, so I mean, to do this is quite impressive, to be honest. 4.3 million, a great average rating, a good amount of goals, I got an assist as well, and he's not a bad player. Yes, he's 25, so he's not like a young talent, but he is very well-rounded, and I mean, out of the options we could actually sign, he was easily one of the favourites, and only on 7.5 grand per week. Now already wanted by the Saudi League, which will be hard to keep him. And lastly, we are going to welcome in Chumi, coming in for 3.1 million. Of course, vital you sign a centre-back when you gain promotion, because our players simply couldn't hack it, to be honest. This guy just looks, again, incredibly well-rounded, on very little per week, and again, has played in Spain his entire career. He comes in, drops a very, very good average rating. You can see here matches his season in the second division in his previous year, so a very, very, very strong season. We do overspend a little bit in around about £3 million, because, of course, Baturina was actually £1 million up front, and that was it. But we have got a guaranteed striker, a great midfielder, a great centre-back. Is that enough to stay up? That's what I'm going to worry about right now. For the Spanish Cup, I am thrilled with, because it is going to be another semi-final appearance, which at this stage of the rebuild is absolutely remarkable. It's really, really strong. We do lose by a couple of goals against Barcelona, and we would have gone on to face Atletico Madrid once again. Are they going to win it back-to-back? They do win it back-to-back, so Madrid are absolutely flying as they beat Barcelona in that semi-final. And the question is, are we going to be in the Spanish League? Oh, wow. Yes, we are. We are going to be in 5th place. That is a serious first season. Now, I will say, we failed to win 20 games, which when you say it like that, sounds quite bad. But of course, we draw 10, so that's going to be 10 points. We win 18, and it's actually really, really good. 64 points. The team that goes down, or the teams that go down, 34, 27, and 26. So we are easily, and I mean easily, 30 points above the drop, and we have got European football, and that is absolutely incredible to see. And I tell you what, not many points off actually reaching the top 4. So a very, very strong season, outplacing Real Sociedad, Valencia. Obviously, your Madrids, your Barças, your Madrids, Sevillas did better, but that is a really strong season. And once again, we are going to be seeing our boy Baturina joint second in the most player of the matches. We have got 2 players with the most assists, which is absolutely incredible. Yanis is going to be in there, a leading second division player, dominating the Spanish division, and also Baturina. Really, really good to see. Unfortunately, our new centre-back has got the most yellow cards, but that is a really, really strong season. Now, what I have done is actually, I decided to keep this guy at poacher, Baturina, and it's somehow getting in more assists, which is quite interesting, but I'm not going to complain, it's working. 19 goals as well, 13 assists, 14 and 18 for this man on the left, who I will show you again. I don't know what it is about him, but I am so happy to have him. On the right-hand side, 9 and 5, not too bad. Sangali, 16 and 5. Enriquez, 8 and 12. The wing-backs obviously aren't going to be getting that many assists at the moment because they are playing quite a reserved inverted role. 3 and 4 coming in from Labete. We've got 4 and 6 coming in here from Villadrez, I believe that's how you say that, the sort of backup left midfielder who looks absolutely rapid. But the big thing, the big challenge for us is we've got a small squad. we have got a very, very small squad. As you can see on your screens right now, we do not have much to play with, which is worrying because we are, of course, now going into a European competition. And as you can also see, we are going to have players with short contracts again. We have got one player here retiring, two players retiring. We have got an advanced playmaker and also a poacher. So these players instantly were losing two people. So we better have a decent budget to bring new faces in. And this is what you get with Malaga. I mean, it's not bad, actually. £32 million isn't horrific, but it's not exactly also a lot of money considering we are already two players down. So that's already two players we need to replace, which I'm not blaming them. They're older players, have done well for the club, they can move on. But we need to sign two players to break even and then bring more in to improve our chances, because this already is a small squad, and because of a very remarkable, unlikely season, we are already in the Europa League. This has to be a big transfer window, but what a season. Right then, so we are going to lose one of our younger players, and he was actually a player that I was going to consider to promote. That is going to be Aaron Ochoa. He is going to go to the PSG second team for 6.2 million. It was a deal that was done sort of while I was simming, and it's a shame because he actually looks quite a good player. But to replace him, we are going to bring in another midfield player. That is going to be Newgens, coming in from Napoli. So our first real big name signing, 2.2 million, 32 games, 5 goal contributions, a big improvement on his time in not only the Premier League but also the Serie A. Maybe he suits Spain a little bit more. He's a very, very good player, a bit on the older side. Obviously, probably won't be around when we do eventually complete this challenge of winning a title with a full new gen team, or 7 of them. But for the next few years, I think he can play a vital role in sort of progressing the club upwards. So we've got to pay attention to the fact of the higher we finish in the table, the more money we're going to get, the more money, the better new gens, the better the challenge actually becomes. So he is going to play a vital role. £17.7 million we are going to pay for Adam Obert we're going to go with. Now he was signed as a first division player, and he has gone down ability wise to a second division player with the potential to become a good first division player, but he's actually enjoyed a decent season. 2 goals, 1 assist. Now he was actually brought in to play this inverted fullback role, or wing-back role should I say, but I think the game has been playing him at centre-back because he is one of our best options. So a 23-year-old player for that price tag isn't horrific. He can still grow. He's pretty well rounded, and again, I guess it is very helpful that he can also play at the left back role, because now he covers 2 areas with 1 transfer fee. Now the last signing is going to be Stefan Odoi, coming in on the free, and this guy looks absolutely incredible, or Odie should I say, not Odoi. Stefan Odie coming in on the free, and he actually scores a decent amount of goals for a backup, coming in from the Danish league. 6 goals, 2 assists, drops a decent average rating, and I mean, this screams of what I want from a backup. He comes in when he's needed. That is all that I want. He scores goals, the finishing's there, he's quick, he offers something a bit different to Baturina, because he has got the pace, which is obviously really good to have, 2 different styles of strikers, and I just think him and Baturina are actually a really good sort of couple of players to have, because against teams that maybe are quite quick at the back, where maybe Baturina struggles to, you know, really get anywhere useful, we can bring this guy on. For the teams that are quite weak at the back, where Baturina can go in and sort of just rummage his way through, he might sort of favour the game. So I genuinely think that is a really, really smart signing. And obviously, this guy, for that price tag, you're not going to say no. Well, we were actually in the Champions League, not the Europa League apparently, and we didn't do awful, but we didn't do great. But what are we here to expect? I mean, we're in Season 3. We're not going to get too far. We do obviously play 8 games. We beat Barcelona, by the way, which is massive. PSV and Sturm Graz. We draw against Ajax, Newcastle and Porto, which is incredible. And we lose against 2 of England's finest. So it's an actual, I'm going to say, a decent performance in the Champions League. When it comes to this round, we are going to lose against Leipzig by 2 goals over 2 legs. But I mean, to be honest with you, just based off the teams that we beat, I think that's pretty good going. Big drop-off in the Spanish Cup, of course, semi-finalists in back-to-back seasons. The 3rd season, we are going to fall to Mallorca in the 4th round, but... and don't panic here, because things have gone better. We are going to be in the top 4 already when it comes to the Spanish League, which is absolutely remarkable. Now, what we have done here is simply incredible, because we are now playing in the Champions League, which means more games. We didn't really sign that many more players compared to what we lost with the retiring players and the player that got sold. We actually broke even. So we have achieved this with very minimal added players into the team. Now, I do think, apart from our goalkeeper, who, fair play to him, has got the second most clean sheets in the league, what a man he is, we do not have a single player to talk about. But I'm not going to complain. We are up there with Atletico, Barcelona, Madrid. Don't get me wrong, there is a ridiculous amount of points between us and Real Madrid, but there is also a ridiculous amount of points between us and the teams going down. We are way above where we should be in terms of projection, and the fans must be absolutely buzzing. This is a serious rebuild. Now, I tell you what, you look at it from the bigger picture as well. Top 4, good Champions League run, disappointing in the Spanish Cup, but another season of UCL football, which must mean a big budget. Maybe not a big budget, £16.4 million. Now, I'm not sure if they've actually put every sort of, penny back into the budget yet, but I believe that is what we're going to actually be spending. The debts and loans, just a couple of million in the transfer debt. That would probably be from Batarina. But I mean, as a team, we're not even dropping ridiculous stats. I mean, our top goal scorer out of everyone across all competitions is Batarina with 12 goals. I've had rebuilds in the past where we've had 3 players score 20 plus goals and we don't win. I know we've not won the Spanish league, but top 4 feels like a win. What I'm trying to say is we are not scoring that many goals, and we are just putting together some really, really good performances. We look at the schedule right now, a lot of these games are actually quite close. There's very rare, apart from a thumping here, 8-0, 3-0, a lot of these games can be just, oh, okay, that is a rough spell there. 1-0 loss, 3-1, 2-0 to okay. Yeah, we'll get off that part of the calendar, but I mean, overall, just quickly scanning these results, we are actually quite a consistent team. We blitz the friendlies, don't have the best first game against Valencia, but I mean, we're actually quite a good team at the moment. Beating Barcelona, we're not messing about. The only rough time this year was in January, and I guess you could argue this sort of area here, but I mean, we had some tough games. We'll go easy on ourselves. But we're going to go into the next window with about 16 million, I believe, and once again, it is all about trying just to add better quality players into the team. But so far, so good. Then, so for £16 million, we did get more money, by the way, just to clarify. We are going to welcome in Frances. Now, this is going to be a player who I genuinely think could be one of the surviving players in that team with the regens around him, because he already is a good division player. He's 24 years of age, and as long as he can stay like this, he is going to be a big player for me, because he can also play centre-back and left-back as well. So, an incredible versatile man who is still somewhat quite young. 13.5 million. He is always going to get a lot of game time because he can play in 3 areas. He drops a good average rating, and as long as he can stay around this level, if not improve a little bit, because he is close to full potential, but he still can grow a little bit, as long as he can stay like this, there's going to have to be someone pretty special down the line to replace him. That is a really good signing. We're then going to welcome in Hans. I'm not going to try and say his full name because I will butcher it. So we are going to welcome in Hans. He comes in literally for £0, 32 appearances, 6 goals, 7 assists. That is one way to land in Spain. What a season for the Italian. And I tell you what, for 26 years of age, similar to Jens, obviously that we got from Napoli, this is a player that is for the current. He might not be here in however many years' time, but for now, he can help us remain in that top 4, hopefully, compete more and more aggressively in European competitions, and more importantly, just help us for the present. That is all that is here for, and I tell you what, for a player that didn't cost me anything, worst comes to worst, we need to sell him. He's actually currently wanted by a Saudi team. We can get 30 million for him. It makes so much sense. And lastly, we are going to pick up Breno, coming in for 5.7 million. Of course, a goalkeeper from the Brazilian league, which is always a bit of a gamble, but he keeps 11 clean sheets, just shy of a 7 rating, and is a clear upgrade on our previous goalkeeper. He is a goalkeeper, once again, that is on the older side, but for a goalkeeper still relatively quite young, and just helps us out going into the next season. So we have signed 3 very, very big players. As you can see, no one else to talk about, no more outgoings, and I genuinely believe this is enough to keep us in the top 4, because we have now actually strengthened. Well, if we're going to judge our league finish off cup performance, which you can't really do, but yeah, a 3rd round exit against Oviedo. I don't want to talk about it. Champions League, we are going to do so bad compared to last season, we don't even get a chance to go through to the playoffs. We finish in 25th. We win 1 game against Napoli. We draw 4 games, which again isn't helpful, and then we lose 3 games against teams that probably should be beating us. But the 4 draws really did cost us in the Champions League. Now, I'm not annoyed, because hopefully we have got to... Well, I say we've got to. I hope we've got in the top 4 again, so we can go back into the Champions League next year. Oh my. Oh my. That is a drop-off season. 3rd round exit, knockout in the league phase, out of any European football in the Spanish league, an 8th place finish, and we are now 31 points off winning the league, 12 points off the top 4, and I mean, that is a real big worry, because something has not clicked this season. I mean, it's not just this is it? It is the Champions League, which season before we actually done quite well. The Spanish Cup, the first 2 seasons, semi, then it was the 4th round, 3rd round. I mean, we're not improving, and we're losing to teams like Oviedo, who are in a Spanish 2nd division. That shouldn't be happening, and I thought we'd strengthened. The players that we brought in, I thought were really strong players. Now, budget-wise, we are going to have very limited money. I don't think that is updated, but we aren't going to have much money because we have achieved nothing. What I will say, filter and buy our best 11, Odie is now going to be our top sort of option, apparently, as Batarina is actually going to be scoring more goals, so I'd say it's pretty even, but Odie scores 9 and 3, and what we're seeing now is a bit of an issue. Our top striker has scored 12 goals in Batarina. To be fair to Yanis, he is doing his thing, man. He is doing his thing. As you can see, he's going to come in and actually do very well. 13 and 8. But apart from him, Batarina, Odie, there is very limited other things to talk about. Everyone is being quite average this season. And the other thing, we have got so many players that are wanted. Another player that's retiring, who is, to be fair to him, 35. But we have got our goalkeeper already wanted by Al Rayad. We have got Jens now wanted by Albertine. We've got another midfield player wanted by Al Hilal. Girona. I mean, we've got so many players that are wanted or want to go out on loan. We have got a real tough window coming up. And with limited finances, there is a big worry. We might go into the next season with less players than what we've got right now. And what does that say for our chances? And so signing number 1, now we actually did have a budget of around about 39 million when they actually injected the funds. Now, this is going to be a freebie signing who only plays 7 games, but considering he cost me literally nothing and he's only on 12k a week, he is a very good backup centre-back to have. And when he come in, he actually played really well. So for business, cost me nothing, and just for the building the squad up, much needed. Other player on the free is going to be Big Myron. Now, he has come in to try and get me more goals. Now, he comes in from the Dutch League and does so well. 16 goals, 5 assists, 5 player of the matches, and drops a 6.98. He is a man that is valued at 52 to 68 million. He's on a fair bit of money per week, but this guy has brought me so many more goals, he might have got me back into the top 6, top 4. Genuinely a remarkable player. Very similar to João Pedro, can play on the left, on the right, up front, in the middle if you need him. He is quick, good balance, good finishing, good composure, good dribbling, good technique. He is genuinely a really complete player that cost me absolutely nothing. Eze is also going to join the rankings today. He comes in on the free, again, done very well with 15 goal contributions, so this could be a really good season. A man valued at £81 million. Of course, you're going to pay a fair bit to have him at the club, £89,000 a week, but this man brings talent, experience, so many things to this league. A real technical man that's not the quickest anymore, but really, really good on the ball. Very electric to watch. And do you know what? On the free, we have got a bagsman and a curator. Not too bad, huh? A big boy sign-in for a big boy price tag. Beraldo is going to come in to be my next centre-back option. 36 appearances, 1 assist, and drops a 6.85. This guy is an incredible player. Whenever you sign someone from a big team like PSG, you're sending out a statement to the league. Look, we are a big team. We can attract these players. And this man fits that role very, very well. A really, really good centre-back who now is already wanted by another team. And I tell you what, considering we paid 31 million, we can easily get more money. And we had room for one more signing. And I was going for a wing-back. And we got Lewis Hall for 14.7 million, who plays that inverted wing-back role actually really well. So a very handy player to have, who comes in, as I said, for that price tag, plays a ton of games, a couple of goals, a good average rating, and he's only 23. So again, one for the future. And of course, with him, you don't just get a left back, you also get a midfielder. You get a lot of things from him. He's young and he's just a really good player to have. And I look at the players that we have brought in, not forgetting Romero here, Lewis Hall, Myron, Eze, Beraldo. We have to be in the top 6. Oh, sadly, the Spanish Cup first, still no improvement. Atletico Madrid are going to be the team that we face. Now, I am not going to be annoyed on this occasion because Atletico Madrid have now won 2 of the past season's Spanish Cups. They know what they're doing, and in fact, did they get to the final? They didn't. Where did they sort of lose then? They actually lost to Bilbao 5-1. Fair play, but they know what they're doing, so we're not going to be too annoyed. The league, a top 7 finish, so not the top 6 wish, but at least we are now being somewhat more competitive, back up in there in the European places. Quite a fair few points off top 4 and a load off winning the league, but it is clear progression. We still do not have one single player to talk about in terms of a great performer, but there is no secret to what's happened here. We simply have extracted a few more goals. I mean, on the right now, 16 and 5, Eze 5 and 10. What I will say, which is very annoying, is we brought in people that are scoring goals, and the goals have slowed down from Odie. He scores 2. Baturina... Between our 2 strikers, Odie and Baturina, they're our first 2 options. They have scored 5 goals between them. So Eze has matched that on the left-hand side. Now, that's simply not good enough. And this now becomes quite obvious to where our next signing needs to be. And hopefully there is a good new gen on the market coming up shortly up front, because this man was meant to play up front, but he's done such a good job on the right-hand side. Odie is just not good enough. I mean, how many games did he play? Okay, let's not judge him. I may have been critical here. Baturina, how many games did you... Okay, I am sorry. Hands are up. I imagine what has happened here is... Okay, I apologise. He has been up front, and I imagine it would be one of these wingers, maybe this guy, because he has got suspiciously good stats. Maybe he has been playing on the right. So do you know what? I am sorry. I am very sorry. Manager's error. Let's move on. What have we got to take into the next year? We have got a total of, a bit more actually, 33 million. We'll take that. Now, it wasn't a decision that I made. It was a decision that he made, because I was going to give him a new contract. He wasn't interested, and he is now going to be a player for the Saudi League. The bonus... we earn about £16 million. The negative, we need to replace him. Goodbye to Jens. To replace him, although this guy's a bit more attacker-minded, we are going to pick up Orkun Koshu, coming in actually on the free. So, again, really good with this business. 7 goals, 6 assists, drops a good average rating, and I tell you what, yes, he's an older player, but when this man's on the market, it's one of 2 reasons why I've signed him. The first one, for current, help me progress a little bit more, and the second... when we do come to sell him, we can get a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money. And the only other signing is now going to be Alvaro Rodriguez. Now, this is hopefully going to allow the previous top goal scorer from last season to play on the right-hand side, and this man can go up front. Now, he cost me 24 million, but he bagged 18 goals and 7 assists, so this guy was a pretty safe bet. I mean, he's played in Spain all of his career. Madrid would have got him for a reason, but obviously when you've got Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Endrick, you know, he's not going to get into the team. But for us, he is our Mbappe, so we've now got an actual all-and-out striker, which can only hopefully improve us. Another disappointing time in the Spanish Cup, a 4th round exit, and we lose on penalties to Real Haspalis, and your winners are going to be Barcelona, I think, for back-to-back years. Conference League, I'm frustrated because I thought we were going to win this. We lose to Viking, who are a team in the Norwegian Premier Division, and we lose 6-5. I'm not being funny, but you look at these two teams in the final, we should be walking the park with them. Now, in terms of the league, we have redeemed ourselves. We've gained another position, and we are only 2 points off an actual top 4 finish, which is really, really impressive. And we are seeing, finally, a player of ours in the stat lines, Alvaro Rodriguez, in the second most player of the matches. But you look at the goals, for example, you've got to go down to 5th place, which, to be fair, isn't bad for Alvaro. But then, apart from him, you've got to go down, not even on the list, before you get to another one of our players. So, not good enough really there. When it comes to the assists, you've got to go down into 6th place to see one, which is 10 assists is decent, then all the way down into 13th until you see another one of our players. So, really, really not good enough. Clean sheets in 6th place, so quite accurate to where we finished. But I mean, it's an improvement from last season, but how have we not made the Conference League final? How have we not won the final is more of the argument. I mean, it's no secret that what we've done here has helped. Bringing in, for example, Alvaro Rodriguez, I imagine, would do this. So, 33 goals is remarkable. We've now got 11 and 11 from Eze. 22 goal contributions coming in from this man who has been nothing short of an absolute saving grace from Myron. 11 and 10 from Koshu, brilliant. We've also got 4 and 12 here coming in from this absolute Italian monster. And even the wingbacks now, Lewis Hall, 14 assists. 7 and 8 from Enriquez from DM, 3 and 2 from Ober as well. Batterino with 4, 6 and 2 for Larabia. We have actually got some decent performers now. A real big improvement when it comes to the actual overall goal contributions. And this man is a good example of someone that comes in literally for nothing and is dropping some very good performances. And I could not be more prouder. This front line now has a little bit of threat, a little bit of danger, but if you've been paying attention from the start of the video, we still are nowhere near qualifying for an eligible title win. If we win the title win this year or next year, it will be nice, but it won't compete in terms of the challenge. We need 7 Newgens in the team. At the moment, we've got 0. We've got absolutely none. So hopefully a big budget of 37 million. Not too bad, not electric. Let's see what we can do. We are going to have an outgoing player. That is going to be Nelson Monte, going out on the free. Again, a player that come in a few years back. He's been playing quite a fair few games, to be fair. Not doing anything exactly amazing, but I mean, it's always sad to see a good performer go, and it wasn't the only player that went. We also are going to lose Big Hans, who I was recently saying, literally 30 seconds ago, how much he meant to me as a player. He goes for 28 million, so again, for business, it's amazing, because we can go and spend now pure £28 million of pure profit. But to lose a player like that, in the way that we did, is heartbreak. He was doing so well in a top flight division, and he sells out to the Saudi League. How much is he on now per week? He's only on 74k. I would have paid that. Signing 1 is going to be Santiago Lopez, coming in as a strict backup winger. He actually becomes more than a backup. He plays every game, so he's kicked someone out of the position. 8 goals, 11 assists, which is remarkable for his first season, not only at Malaga, but his first time in Spain. He is rapid, can put a ball in, good dribbling. The finishing, pretty lackluster. Composure, pretty lackluster. But other than that, he's a tricky, direct winger who can take on players, and that's exactly what I was looking for. And he's got the Garnacho eye slit. He's basically Garnacho. For £14 million, we have got finally a new gen player in Jose Diaz. Now, I am debating having him in the under-21s for a little bit to really push for him to improve. But he already looks like a monster. I'm talking 16 acceleration, great pace, great tackling, but he didn't get a single game in the team. So I think we are going to put him into the under-21s, really develop him to a good level, and then bring him back in 1 to 2 years' time. Because this guy is a very good player, and our first new gen. Is this one of the required 7? Let's hope so. On the free, and to replace the previous Italian monster, we are going to welcome in a Scottish monster. Lewis Ferguson coming in on the free, 5 and 7, which is pretty decent for his first season. He doesn't really hit the same as the Italian mastermind, but he still does get the job done. I mean, good mental attributes, very good physical as well with his fitness, his stamina, his work rate. He really is a work engine in that midfield. And again, holds immaculate value, so we might see it again in a couple of years where he becomes purely a business move. A man that doesn't leave anytime soon is going to be Mark Casado, coming in on the free, which again is a very strong signing. When a man has played for Bayern and Barca at the age of 26, the guy knows something. Now, he didn't score a goal, which is fine, because he did contribute with the assists and a very good average rating. He's an incredible DLP, DM, deeper option. Great passing range, good tackling, good aggression, good work rate. Not the quickest, but he doesn't really need to be. He's a model citizen, and he's Spanish. What more do you want? Lastly, another left-back option who actually does outcompete Lewis Hall with 36 appearances, 2 goals and 5 assists. We only brought him in, really, because I wanted to broaden the options we have got, and he cost me not a penny, and he's only on 17 grand a week. That is going to be Leonardo Lilo, who was actually playing in the under-23s at Juventus, so it was a pretty bold move for me to give him a chance, but he's clearly still got it in the tank, and that finalises a £24 million window, so not even much money spent considering we raised 28 million here, so we've actually not spent a penny. We're still in £4 million profit. Somewhat of an improvement because we are back in the semis now in the Spanish Cup. We do lose by 2 goals to Real Madrid, but not as bad as Barcelona beating Atletico 8-4. Who went on to win that, can we see? Barcelona. There is no surprise after going, that is such a hot way to go into the final. So fair play to them and fair play to us for recovering it slightly. Europa League actually went a lot better than what I thought, to be honest, because I was expecting maybe sort of a round of 16 exit, but we get to the semi-finals. We would have played Liverpool in the final, who I imagine went on to beat Ajax, so it would never have been an easy time. We get past Shakhtar 4-0, which is decent, and we also get past Young Boys 5-1, but obviously not quite good enough to get to the final, and even then, we would have faced Liverpool, who I think quite comfortably would have stuffed us. I mean, what is their team looking like? Armslot still in charge, Sesko up front, Yildiz, yeah, it would have been ugly. Let's just say that. What isn't ugly, kind of, is finishing 7th. I mean, I want to be back in the top 4, but we have got Europa League football once again, and we are actually quite a fair few points off top 4. We are still quite a fair few points off top 4, so I can't say that. It's average, guys, okay? I'm not going to sit here and just put on a fun act and say, oh my god, we're improving, when we're not. We're not improving. We've sort of hit a stagnant area now of this rebuild where we're finishing between 8th and 5th. And usually it's 7th or 6th or something around that mark. The only player that we can talk about in terms of standout players is going to be Koshu. 3rd most player of the matches. Goal scoring wise, you've got to go down into 6th, where again, it's going to be Koshu. What has happened, Alvaro? You're down in 11th place. Yeah, what can I say? Apart from a decent performance in the Europa League and I guess the Spanish Cup, it's the same. It's the same. I'm not going to put on a fake act just because I'm recording, you know what I mean? It's not acceptable at this stage of the video, in my opinion. In terms of the money, we have got a budget of £36 million, so maybe we can get another new gen in the rankings, potentially. Clear debt, so that's always a positive. But what's happened? Rodriguez is scoring goals clearly, just not in the league, so that's an issue. Eze had a great season, 26 goal contributions. My star man on the right-hand side, 17 and 7. Koshu, 25 and 13. That's remarkable. What a season from him. we've got Lopez here coming in 12 and 14, who did enjoy a great season, but it's still nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough. Next season. Right then, on the free, we are going to lose Adam Ober, which is not nice because we spent 17 million, and I did try and keep him and offer him several contracts, but he was adamant the Chinese league was the best move for his career. Career or for your wallet? What was the real answer? Then another new gen joining the rankings is going to be Emmanuel, coming in for a total of 14 million from the Brazilian league. 38 appearances, 1 goal, 7 assists. That is a good start to the next stage of a new era where we have got a new gen in the team, a great DLP option who will be being locked in. The new gens in this video are going to be locked in because it is the entire point of the video. This guy genuinely is a real good place to start, and it gets better because we had enough money to go and get another new face in 18 million and another new gen. Now, a little fun fact. This guy was playing as right wing when I tried to sign him last year. He has now been playing a lot more time at centre-back, and I actually am going to try him at centre-back because the tackling can become better. But we have now got someone who has got ridiculously good pace and acceleration at centre-back, and I think if we can just get into his head that, look, mate, you're not a right wing, you're a centre-back, we're going to have one of the quickest centre-backs off the line in the game. So if we can just keep him in this team, Stuart Duncan is going to be Duncan on the... I can't say that as a joke. That is such a bad joke. I'm very sorry. He can be playing very, very well. So he is going to be in the team alongside of Emmanuel, and that is 2 new signings, but they are both new gens. So I don't know if that's going to improve our finish in the league or keep us the same or make us worse. It has improved us a little bit. We are still off the Champions League places. Shock horror. We are 1 point behind, so a lot better than before, to be fair. On this occasion, we do not have a single player to talk about. And again, we are purely getting the job done. But the reason why we are not finishing higher is this. 11 draws. Just in there, we have got 3 games where we didn't score a goal. You've got 6 games there, 5 I believe, where we scored 1 goal. We are not scoring enough goals. There's a 5-2 win though against Barcelona, fair play, but we are drawing so many more goals. Look at the comparison. 2 draws, 5, 3, 6, 11 from us. It is joint first with the most draws in the league, so we've actually done quite well to finish where we did. In terms of the rest of the competitions, a semi-final appearance again in the Europa League where we would have actually gone on to play Besiktas, which maybe we could have gone on to win it, although they beat United, so Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has clearly got the... Oh, Jimenez up front. Good job, Ollie. Fair play. Fair play to him. Maybe they would have beaten us, a very, very strong team, and we're back to going out in the 4th round of the Spanish Cup against Celta Vigo. So, I mean, this isn't ideal. This is still quite good, and the league is still along the same lines. So, not angry, not pleased. In terms of the goal outlet, once again, Koshu doing great. This man... he's so good. Such a good player. I've never used him before. If you haven't, go and get Myron. Such a good player. And obviously, didn't spend a penny on him. 10 goals, 13 assists. Eze 13 and 16. Rodriguez 26 and 3. Baturina 17 and 3. 4 and 4 for Lopez. 3 and 9 for Emmanuel, who, let's not forget, is a big player for us now. Duncan enjoyed a decent season, 2 and 3 as well. Frances 7 assists, Lilo with 6 as well. I mean, Larabia 6 and 3. It's a very, very strong season. Lewis Hall also we need to pay attention to. Make sure he's playing enough games because he actually didn't play any this year because I imagine Lino and then you've got also Sanchez did play a few games. So we've got to make sure, if not, we will lock him back in because I don't want him going down the pan. But I mean, realistically, we have now got, if we put Emmanuel back into the team, we have now got 2 new gens in this 11. We've, of course, got the previous man in the under-21s, who we are going to promote very, very shortly, which will then be 3. We need 4 more, and we can start to get a rough understanding of how long it's going to take to achieve this dream. Cue the next season, we've got 34 million to spend, or maybe more. No, 34 million. Right then, another new gen, and oh boy am I excited because we are going to welcome in Antonio Sanz, coming in for 17.2 million, 21 goal contributions. We have got ourselves a baller from Atletico Madrid, who wasn't really any challenge to get. He was happy to come, and I was happy to have him. He is rapid, 17 pace, 16 stamina, great acceleration. The finishing is pretty diabolical, but of course he's 22. We can work with him on a one-to-one basis and improve that. A very, very, very technically minded player who can play on the right and on the left, and of course fits the challenge and concept of this video second to none. A really, really, really strong performer in his first year. And we did go over and have enough money to sign another player in Mario Ruiz, another new gen. We are really getting him in right now in the year of 2032. Now, this guy comes in for 15 million, drops a masterclass, 3 goals, 5 assists, and with him and the one in the under-21s, we've now got 2 new-gen centre-backs, which is really cool to see, and of course Duncan, so make that 3. Really, really impressive, and this guy can play right-back, so if the player that was in the under-21s gets into the first team, he will still be a part of this team, which is really impressive. And you know what? He's got the pace to play at right back. He's got the tackling. He's also got okay crossing. The work rate and stamina we can work on as well. And for that price tag and the limited amount of money he has costed me to have at the club, I am more than happy to spend it. And we have now got 2 new gens in the team. I'm getting quite excited. I feel like a kid. Right then, back into the Champions League, and I guess we've got to be happy because we've made it past the league phase. Did we do it right? We did actually, automatically, beating teams FC Midtjylland, Benfica, Olympiacos, Tottenham, PSV, a point against Napoli, and only 2 losses. Obviously, we are going to go out in the round of 16 against Napoli, but that is a seriously big improvement. 4th round exit in the Spanish Cup. We simply cannot get to that final, can we? We can get to a semi, we can't get to the final. We can't do it. I mean, we're so far off this year, but our best finish yet, I believe, a 3rd place finish, still miles off the top. Miles off the top, 7 points behind 2nd, and very close to being behind Atletico, but an 8-point advantage over Sevilla, who finished in 5th place, outside of the UCL spots. Now, what I am really impressed with here is a couple of things. Breno had a fantastic season. 17 clean sheets. Remarkable. Antonio, wherever I got Pablo from, probably looking at another name. Sanz has come in and not only put in really good stats in that category, but also joint second. Am I being blind? I'm reading multiple stats here. I think I'm losing my head. There's so many names. 14 assists, 1 place behind Mbappe with the assists. What am I reading? I'm still trying to see where I've read Pablo. No idea where. But at the end of the day, Antonio, not Pablo, has come in and done a great job with the 2nd most amount of assists. And I tell you what, although it is a very, very sort of one way to look at it, it's not exactly impressive. It's nice to see one of our new gen players has come in and had a real good impact. And I tell you what, the team is now looking like this when we lock in players. We've got 15 and 21 from Sanz. We've got Emmanuel 4 and 4, 5 and 6 from Ruiz. We are also now going to have Duncan with 1 and 2. But sadly, when we do this, we are only... Actually, Ruiz goes to right back, Duncan goes to centre back, and we are going to have Sanz remaining in the team, which is good to see. We have now got 3 players that get into the team without being forced to be into the team, which is a big thumbs up. Ruiz 5 and 6, 4 and 7 from Casado, Ferguson 8 and 9, Koshu's been so great, 19 and 11, 15 and 21 from Sanz, Eze 13 and 8, and my star man up front, 24 and 6. So I mean, we are slowly turning this team into a new gen team. We of course do still have the under 21 centre back, but I think it might be time to promote him any time now, so we can really introduce another new gen into the team, and slowly but surely we're bringing in the future generation. Cue the next season. And a double bubble here. We are going to have a new gen on the free as well, coming in from Freiburg, a leading division striker. 32 goals in his first season, 4 assists, and he come in on the free. Are you mental? Now, he is on quite a fair bit of money for a new gen player, but his value is nearly 50 million. Now, I just hope we can keep him, because he is wanted by PSG and Valencia already. The guy looks remarkable, and he cost me nothing, and is a new gen. Talk about a double bubble. Roger Fernandez, not a new gen player, but another freebie player who has been brought in to be another backup winger, plays a ton of games, 8 goal contributions, drops a 6.92. Again, serious value on this man, 48 to 60 million pounds. So again, potentially a business move, but he was available on the free. I had to look twice that he was on the free, because you pay serious money for these sorts of players usually. Going to be another regen, and it is going to be Erivaldo coming in from none other than the Brazilian league for 12 million, 3 goals and also 11 assists. A great first entry season for another incredibly well-rounded perfectionist mentality player. A really mentally good player, good physically as well, good passing range, and I tell you what, we are now welcoming in some very good new gens, and I tell you what, it would be rude not to have one more. Another goalkeeper, a Brazilian new gen goalkeeper coming in for 9 million. He plays every game because he was locked in there too, and he keeps 20 clean sheets. This guy genuinely is some goalkeeper, and I tell you what, it is new gen after new gen after new gen in the year of 2033. Our first chance to win the Spanish Super Cup, and we lose on penalties to Real Madrid. Talk about heartbreak. Improvement in the Champions League up now to the quarter-finals, meaning we did get past the round of 16 against Bayern. A 6-1 win, which is really impressive, and we're going to make it out of the league phase, and we go invincible, beating Leverkusen, Ajax, Newcastle, Napoli, Roma, Aris, getting points against Juve and Arsenal. That is a much better display. That's good. Bad in the Spanish Cup as we get into another semi-final, and we are 1 goal off again, at least tying with Atletico and seeing what happens, but we just can't get to the final. We never have. We're over 10 seasons in now. We can't get there. It's impossible. The league though, I'm happy with. Consistency. Back to back now. I mean, we are really pushing the limits. We are slowly closing in on the champions, and I tell you what, for the first time, I can almost cry. We have got not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5 players in the player stats. 5 players. Mark Conrad's 32, Koshu 26. Conrad, most player of the matches. Caesar coming in, most clean sheets. Sands, second most assists. This is now looking like a team that can be taken seriously and competitively. A very strong performance, and of course more Champions League football. And we've got a big boy budget, £87 million. The debts and loans clear, not a penny in debt. We've got the green flag to go ahead. But looking at the team right now, this is the locked-in team. So a lot of players now that are new-gen players. Of course, Diaz, you can come here and see, he was obviously in the Malaga B team. He is now in the first team, really locking himself in. But if we go by the best 11, we are now going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Realistically, he'll be gone soon. So we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. So 1 more player needed to actually have an eligible title win. Other than that, the players around him are doing great. Koshu may be the best free transfer signing I have ever made in my life. The guy is absolutely nuts. Sands doing a great job. Eze being consistent. Conrad, 41 and 6. Myron having a bit of a quiet season because obviously Conrad's come in and just throwing his weight around. Ruiz a great... I mean, yeah. These new gens, man. We're cooking. Cue the next season. Right then, so outgoing number 1 is going to be Lilo. He come in on the free, he leaves on the free. A couple of good seasons, and you know what? He's earned his move to the Saudi League. He's now 34 and probably the right place for him to be. Goalkeeper Breno also is going to leave on the free, brought in for 5 million, had 6 good seasons for us. He's now going to go out on the free, and you know what? Very similar to Lilo at left back. He has done such a good job. He's earned a bit of an easier time in football. Fair play to him. This is where things take a bitter turn. Just as when I thought we were getting a new gen team together, Newcastle come in and snap up Conrad for 43 million. Now, it is 43 million pound of pure profit, but are we going to get a player that is as good as him up front for 43 million? I think I know the answer, and I think so do you. It gets worse because RB Leipzig come in and pop the release clause of Emmanuel. It was a forced release clause that his agent wanted. It's good profit again, but he's such a big player to lose. I mean, money-wise, we're doing great in today's video, but I mean, it's not all about money, and I tell you what, we have just lost two. We've lost two real big additions to this team. That's a kick in the stomach. Signing one is going to be a new gen winger in Alan Lebrun, coming in from Valencia for £48 million, 11 goals, 16 assists. Now that makes up for a little bit of the stuff we're going to lose from losing Conrad. A very, very, very good player. Quick, immaculate finishing, great dribbling, great passing, great technique, great determination, flair, vision, work rate, stamina. The guy is a complete package who also can play up front. So really, really impressive. 25 years of age, a new gen player, tick. Off to raid Besiktas, another new gen player, another centre back. 16 acceleration, 16 pace, 17 tackling. That is all I need to tell you today. This guy is genuinely nuts. Badir is going to come in for 36 million. Has a great first season, and he's not the only Besiktas player we went and raided. Because we also signed as a backup new gen, none other than Dogan, coming in from Besiktas for 16 million. Actually more than backup, to be fair. 34 appearances, 5 goals and 2 assists. Now, he must have done well because he was not locked in as a player, I don't believe. Now, that says something for how well he has done. He is actually a really well-rounded player, resolute personality as well, 23, a really strong option, and I tell you what, I am sorry Besiktas fans, because I've taken 2 of your players now, but we had to do something. The big thing that we haven't replaced is getting another striker in, so we may have dropped off a little bit. Right then, over to the league. Valencia are going to be topping the table. Now, I know they've got Ansu Fati in their team, so they are cooking. They've got a great wonderkid set up as well. We are going to be down in 4th place, and it's to be expected. We've lost a bagsman, haven't we? To be fair to Myron, he's stepped a bit into that void with 19 goals, finishing 3rd place. Alan had a great season, so did Koshu, but we've dropped down a fair few places now, and we've now got a bigger gap to catch up to the champions. And this is with Barcelona and Madrid having what I would describe as off-season, so not a great time really. Other competitions include 2 semi-final exits, which I'm getting a bit sick of looking at now because it's all we're getting to in those cups. The Champions League again isn't horrific, although we do concede 7 against Newcastle over 2 legs. We do beat Lazio 4-2, and the league phase we are going to do very well in as well. So we are doing okay in the Champions League, but we are now going into our 12th season with no ridiculous bagsmen, still no league titles, and no end date on how long it's going to take to build an 11 of new gens. Well, not an 11, a 7 of new gens that can compete for the title. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Let's go and see what we can do, because I mean, at the moment, these are the players that are going to be locked in. So you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we would have won the league, it would have counted, but we didn't. Going into the next season, we've got a mad budget of 163 million. We need to get a bagsman up front. I'm talking £100 million new gen. I'm talking signing your Hendricks. Not Hendricks is not a new gen, but that level of potential. Now, the reason we had a lot of money is because we also had a lot of players go out on the free towards the end of the season. The first one, Lewis Ferguson, is going to go to Celtic, which is fitting because obviously he is Scottish, so fair play to him. Going back to his roots, I actually respect that quite a fair bit. Thank you, Lewis. Koshu, I'm going to miss you, man. I'm going to miss you. I mean, genuinely, such a good player for us. I mean, what a man. What a machine. And I can't hate him. He is gone now to chase the bag. 700k a week. Take me with you, mate. Do you know what I mean? Batarina. A man that many would write off. A man that I didn't write off. He's been with us since the start. And his journey has slowly come towards an end for quite some time. But do you know what I like about Batarina? He stepped in when he was needed. And this year here, when we needed a striker, he stepped in. Then he accepted going down to being, you know, very, very much rotation-based. And I've got nothing but respect for him. What a guy. Sign-in 1 and an instalment sign-in, only 15 million paid up front, is going to be Ali Basharu, coming in from FC Metz for 75 million, 32 appearances, 3 goals and also 4 assists. And I'm going to have a little spoiler alert right now. This is one of a batch of new gen players I'm going to be showing you today. We have had a mega transfer window. As we also welcome in Graham Bailey, coming in from Chelsea. Now, he was actually after a leave, and I thought, you know what? For 60 mil, I'll take the punt, because we've got money to play with now. It was paid out for all in one go. The guy looks remarkable as a DLP. 17 passing, great first touch, great technique, great work rate, and this is what I want from a player in that area. He's on the older side at 27, but he is a new gen, and he still counts. £30 million, we are going to welcome in another backup attacking midfield player. He only plays 5 games, and he doesn't really do too much in those games, but for 13 million, it's another new gen into this team, and he's Brazilian. Every Brazilian person that I have ever heard of can kick a football well. 13 million, and the man that I was banking on replacing the goals that Conrad give us actually done very well. For that price tag, 24 goals and 3 assists. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I was expecting him to maybe get around about maybe 10, but he has been such a good player, and I shouldn't have doubted him, you know. He's not the quickest, but he's got the balance, the dribbling, the finishing and composure are simply incredible, and I shouldn't have doubted him. He's actually a really good player. And the last player we've got to talk about is going to be this man here, Richard Figueres, coming in from Girona, a very good left-back who plays a ton of games, 5 assists as well. And I tell you what, we've now got him and Lewis Hall. Lewis Hall being the backup, this man being the first-team player. And we have introduced such a mixture of incredible new gens. This is now going to go one of 2 ways. It's either going to go too many faces, too many chefs in the kitchen, we drop down a fair few places, or we're about to have one of the best seasons you have ever seen in Spanish history. Nothing quite says the best team in the world by losing a final, does it? A 1-0 loss in the Spanish Super Cup against Real Madrid. Finals again, boys. Semi-finals again. I'm going to lose it again in the semis. Spanish Cup. I mean, honestly, how many times have we got to the semis now? Never, ever in the Spanish Cup final. Mental. To be annoyed, because it's great. But another semi-final exit. I tell you what, we've had a semi... Whoa, hang on a second. We will not be saying that. We will not be saying that. We genuinely are the team of semi-finals. We are the team of semi-finals. Honestly, we can't get past them. We cannot get into a final. But when you look at it, it's a good result in the Champions League. We're going to beat AC Milan. We're going to beat RB Leipzig. The league phase wasn't actually that strong, actually, so we must have beat someone here. We do beat Tottenham 5-3, so we beat some pretty big teams in terms of the actual knockoff rounds, but it's not good enough. It's not good enough. The league... Get in there, yes. Okay, I was not fully expecting that, but we will take it. We will take it. Van Persie, top goal scorer. Enrique, second top goal scorer. And this is what I like to see. Antonio Sanz, top assists and top player of the matches. Julio Cesar, the most clean, or the 3rd most clean sheets. But we have won the league by 1 point. Over Barcelona, Madrid, Valencia, Atletico. Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. In the big year of 2035. So that is 12 seasons, I believe. I mean, we have, what, in this entire rebuild, 1 winners now, runners up and 3rd place. And I mean, it's going to look so nice. The reputation's gone up a lot. I just want to see it. I just want to see that in the cabinet. Absolutely beautiful. And that is a very, very, very good way to complete this challenge. Now, of course, those that want to carry this on with the Patreon file, the rebuild file, and the tactic, you've got such a fun save here. Genuinely, I'm not just saying that, because you can push on now to win any of the Spanish Cups, the Champions League, go back-to-back in the league, and you have been left with a team of utter quality. But the question is, are we going to qualify? Filter by the best 11, have we got 7 players that go in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of the whole squad, 9 out of the 11 are going to be Newgens. We haven't done the challenge, we have battered the challenge. And you can actually, to be fair, go over and introduce an entire midfield pairing, I believe. You can have a whole team of Newgens, a whole team, and it would still be very, very good. But let's be fair and look at the team that the game played. 37 and 5 from Enrique, Lebron 24 and 16, Sands 11 and 8, Casado 2 and 7. Great from this player here, 13 and 8, 4 and 7 from Bailey. I mean, genuinely a really, really strong. What a rebuild, man! What a rebuild! And if you do enjoy Newgens, make sure you go and get this file, because you have got an entire 11 of Newgen players, and you've got a transfer budget of 71 million. Your debts and loans, there is a little bit in there now, but you still can go and spend comfortably, and you've been left with one of the better younger teams you're going to see. I mean, some of the value on these players as well is absolutely incredible, and if you've enjoyed half as much as what I've had fun recording this, sorry, struggled to get the words out, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and again, let me know if you want a new Gen Challenge rebuild with any other team. Let me know in the comments. I will see you in the next one.